in order to do that, you have to drive down muscle mass. I'm pausing because I want you to remember this shit. Hi, my name is John Jaquish. I'm a doctor of biomedical engineering, which gives me a unique perspective beyond what a lot of sports science guys traffic in the research that they talk about. I talk about from a little different perspective. And today, I want to focus on longevity. So we're going to compare cardiovascular / endurance type training versus strength training for the purposes of living longer. For many years, I feel like when I was a kid, we were, 80s, 90s, we were inundated with this rhetoric about how we should be always running or something like that, jogging, people used to call it. And there was a guy named Jim Fix who was really famous. He was the jogging guy. He might have even made that term popular. And it was like he was just running everywhere. And I think he wrote a book with Oprah, or maybe she was just on the cover or something like that. The guy dropped dead in, I think, his mid-40s. And it was when he was out for a run. Now, running doesn't make you drop dead, but poor health does. Then the question from the scientific community was, maybe just constantly moving the body is not really what the body needs or wants. So I want to point out a couple of things. One of them is that when you do cardiovascular activity, your goal should be you want to become a machine that can go great distances with a low amount of energy. Because if you require a high amount of energy, you can't carry that with you and you're not efficient. So in this activity, you're giving the central nervous system a whole series of signals that are telling your body to lower muscle mass and preserve body fat. Because if you're going to be a more efficient machine, having a smaller engine makes sense. So you end up losing muscle mass. And that's cortisol goes up when you do endurance type exercise, especially for more than 20 minutes. So sustained high heart rate for more than 20 minutes. Cortisol goes up. And it's not like a cortisol upregulation like getting out of bed in the morning. Because cortisol goes up when you get out of bed in the morning, but then it drops down in 15 minutes. When you do some endurance training, it might stay up there for, depending on the individual, depending on what else is going on in their nutrition, could be 6 hours. Well, if you start doing endurance type training on a regular basis, you're having high cortisol for a significant percentage of time, which is going to drive your muscle mass down, and it's going to keep body fat on you. And when I say preserve body fat, I mean your body is trying to keep you as fat as possible for as long as possible. Now again, if you want to be a marathon runner, you have to go through this. It's part of the process. But I see a lot of people who are on treadmills or out for a run and they think they're losing, they say they're losing weight. And they're right. They're losing muscle. They're not losing body fat though. So to me, it seems an awful lot like that doesn't really give you what you want. But to make things worse, the greatest driver of long life that has the most powerful and uncontested research relating around it, you might think would be endurance training. It's not. It's strength training. The reason is because when you endurance train, there is a metabolic benefit while you're doing it. And when you stop doing it, that metabolic benefit stops. But when you build muscle, there's a metabolic benefit to the activity of strength training. It's much lower, actually, than endurance type training. However, when you build muscle, the muscle has a metabolic activity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's making you a more efficient machine. In fact, a study just came out recently demonstrating how the easiest way to drive down your body fat is gaining muscle. Coincidentally, longevity research. there's an incredible amount of data that demonstrates how long life comes from really two metrics that we can easily measure: body fat and muscularity. High levels of muscularity, low levels of body fat. Those are the two greatest drivers of long life. And that's not necessarily what endurance training is going to give you. So everybody, including endurance athletes, at some point really ought to focus on strength training. Now, I would tell somebody who runs marathons, as soon as you're done running marathons, you need to go to strength and you need to stay in strength. So it's not like I'm saying don't do that, because yes, there are health benefits, and it's also very interesting how a human can run that incredible distance. And it is fascinating, and I understand the allure to it. But ultimately, for living longer, you want to spend the largest percentage of your life doing strength training, not endurance training. I hope this helped, and I hope it answers a lot of questions, because I think a lot of people will ask, well, what are you doing for your heart, when they see all the strength training I'm doing? And I'm like, what do you think strength training does? Like, that's a better cardiac, there's research on this too, I'll put it up on the screen. Cardiac health strength training is a much better driver. I think the confusion comes from VO2 max. So a lot of people, I think because it's a complicated test, and it's you got to get on a treadmill and hook up a bunch of wires, and it looks like you're, the bionic man, the $6 million man, back in the 80s when $6 million was a lot of money. It's like getting this VO2 max test. I think everybody thinks, because it's a complicated test, because it looks very sciencey, that must be like the greatest test for athleticism. The problem is, to have a great result with VO2 max, you have to be an individual who's pushing that VO2 max to be optimized. And in order to do that, you have to drive down muscle mass. I'm pausing because I want you to remember this shit. If you need to drive down muscle mass, is that really good for you? I would say maybe not. I think VO2 max is an interesting health metric, but I think lean mass is a much better health metric if you're interested in living a long time. I hope this helped, and leave a comment if you think I'm wrong, if you have some other research, especially if you have some other research that's contradictory to what I'm saying. Post the link and I'll address it. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.
If this video helped you, I want you to subscribe and follow. I'm going to put out videos on a regular basis. I think they're going to help a whole lot of people, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't just instantly grow from lifting regular weights. We've got the answer for you.